Welcome, one and all, to Ringmaster Storytime. I'm your Ringmaster and host, Jonathan Lee Iverson, and this is day number 3 of 12 Days of Christmas, 12 Days of Ringmaster Storytime. Remember, if you enjoy any of my content, remember to subscribe to Facebook or YouTube. That's right, it's Facebook or YouTube. Let me tell you a secret. All my shows on Facebook rebroadcast on my YouTube channel. So subscribe to them both and be in the know. Hey, this is day number 3 and I can't wait to share this story with you. It's a fun one. I think we can all agree that friendship is in fact the true spirit of Christmas. And if you're lucky like me, you will find that friendship may very well come in the most unexpected ways. Hey, join me for this story. I think you're going to love it.
3 French Hens, a Holiday Tale by Margie Palatini, illustrated by Richard Egielski. On the 3rd day of Christmas, a mademoiselle from Paris sent a true love 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree. The hens never arrived. Since the hens were mailed off during a Paris drizzle, the address on their package ended up smudged. Yes, not a word could be read, and somehow, some way, the ladies became, shall we say, misdirected. Alas, undeliverable. However, Colette, Paulette, and Fifi were not about to be left languishing as unclaimed mail when they had a true love to make happy. No. After all, this was Christmas, and they were French. We will deliver ourselves, declared the trio. Yet, as determined as any 3 French hens could be, how were they to find this Monsieur Philippe Renard? Of course, the phone book, proclaimed Colette. Paulette flipped and flapped through page after page. Sadly, there was not a Philippe Renard to be found. All still looked lost, including the hens. And then, "This is New York, not Paris," exclaimed Fifi. "We must translate. It is not Philippe Renard, but Phil Fox, who we must see." And so the 3 French hens dusted themselves off, picked themselves up, and headed down into the subway in search of Mr. Phil Fox. Down on his luck, Phil Fox was staring out his window with no view. He did not have a true love. He did not even have a friend, unless he counted the cockroach. Why, the poor fella hadn't had a square meal in a month. These were lean times for Phil, very lean times. As he watched the first snowflakes of the season fall, he made a wish. Phil looked over to the cockroach and shrugged. "Hey, my luck's gotta change pretty soon, right? I mean, 'tis the season." Suddenly, there was a knock on the door. "Bonjour, Merry Christmas, Joyeux Noël, Monsieur Philippe Renard," sang out the 3 French hens. "We are Colette, Paulette, and Fifi, a present from your true love." Now Phil knew all well and good that he was not Philippe Renard. He was very sure he wasn't anyone's true love, and he barely knew a word of French. But Phil was a clever enough fox to recognize a free meal when he saw one. 3 French hens on his doorstep? It was better than Chinese takeout. Well, gulped Phil. "Pouvons-nous entrer?" asked the hens. "Entree? Entree, most definitely entree," he answered, with a grin as his roast, fry, and sauté walked through the door. Before Phil could get out his cookbook, Colette whisked the fox into the salle de bain. "Pour vous, for you, Monsieur Philippe," She clucked, showing him a tub filled with perfumed bubbles. A bath had been foreign to Phil in the past, but if it was good enough for Philippe, Phil thought he'd give it a go. The water was warm and wonderful, the fragrance heavenly. Phil sniffed, he soaked, he sighed. He knew there was no way he could have Colette for breakfast. Most certainly not after she'd given him a manicure, a new coiffure, and dressed him in such dandy new attire. He looked so swell, swank, dare he say it, debonair. The new natty Phil looked in the mirror. He looked at the beaming Colette. Phil sighed and smiled wistfully. He was definitely going to have to skip breakfast. But when Paulette called from the other room, Foxy Phil was ready for lunch. Voila, Monsieur Philippe, declared Paulette with a flourish. Phil could not believe his eyes. His space was no longer shabby but chic, and standing tall in the corner was the most beautiful twinkling tinsel tree. I'm a wonder with the needle, thread, and evergreen. Oui, Paulette said proudly. Yes, oui, agreed Phil as the tasteful hen ushered him to a big stuffed chair by the crackling fire. She plumped and poofed him a pillow, slid a tuffet under his slippered toes. Phil felt so warm, so comfy, so cozy, so not able to have Paulette for lunch, not even for hors d'oeuvres. However, though Phil may have felt toasty and looked swanky, his tummy was still cranky. When it began to grumble loudly, Phil's thoughts wandered to hen number 3. Oh yes, Mr. Fox was planning dinner with Fifi. Bon appetit, Monsieur Philippe, shouted Chef Fifi as she came through the swinging kitchen door. She held a tray high with canapé, consommé, hollandaise, and pâté. She had salade niçoise and bowls of vichyssoise, parfait, crème brûlée, chocolate mousse, cholette russe. Phil sniffed, tasted, nibbled, noshed. He looked at the 3 hens and the tower of French food and thought, so who needs chicken? He delicately wiped his chin with a monogrammed napkin. Now that's what he called a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. With style, too. Yes, Phil was feeling very happy and full. He was also feeling something else, and it wasn't indigestion. Phil was so filled with holiday spirit and a guilty conscience that he finally confessed, Ladies, I gotta get this off my chest. I'm not who you think I am. I'm a fake, cried Phil. A phony. Hey, I'm a foe. I'm not even French. The hens huddled, clucked, concluded. That does not matter. But I don't have a true love, continued Phil. Not even a friend. It's only me and a cockroach. I don't even get kissed under mistletoe. That does not matter, the 3 hens repeated. Phil hung his head and gulped with guilt. You don't understand. I'm not Philippe Renard from Paris. I'm just plain old Phil Fox from the Bronx. That does not matter, the trio trilled. We like you just the way you are. Notre ami, our friend Phil. Friend? Phil felt a lump in his throat. Even the cockroach had a tear in his eye. Phil never thought he would have such fine friends, certainly not feathered ones. How could he ever repay their kindness? Then Phil looked under his twinkling tree. There were so many presents, too many for just one simple fox. What the heck, thought Phil, it's Christmas. He would share his good fortune and holiday cheer with his new friends. He handed Colette, Paulette, and Fifi 3 of his beautifully wrapped presents. The hens smiled, but shook their heads. "What's wrong?" asked Phil. "Thank you. Merci, dear friend Phil," said Fifi. "But we cannot accept the gifts for Christmas." "Why not?" asked the bewildered Phil. Paulette smiled. "Because our holiday is Hanukkah. We're kosher chickens." Phil grinned and gave a hearty hug to each. "No matter. I say happy holidays to us all." And so the 3 French hens from Paris and Phil Fox from the Bronx celebrated the rest of the 12 days of Christmas and 8 nights of Hanukkah together. And they all had a wonderful time, including the cockroach. The end. Fin.
Thank you once again. What a fantastic story, huh? What a fantastic story of friendship and coming together. That was so much fun. Listen, remember to join me for day number 4. That's right, same time, same place tomorrow. I can't wait to see you. Until then, keep reading and remember, keep the circus alive inside you.